Hi, Amy.
Mm. Hello, everybody, and welcome here to the After Lunch Special interview series being hosted by the Science of Mind magazine. I'm so excited today because my guest is Lynn Floyd.
Hi, Amy.
Yeah, sure he is.
Oh,
And yeah, my name is Amy. So we're just gonna have a chat. How's that feel?
feels good to me.
All right.
I didn't hear
So
anybody
tell
talk.
me.
I guess it's good for them.
Yes, I hope it's good for them too. Tell me where you were born.
I was born in Houston, Texas.
And is that where you grew up?
I lived in Houston till I was 7. Midway through my first grade year, we moved to Conroe, which is, at that time, it was a little town north of Houston, about 10,000. So I was brought up in Conroe, Texas.
Okay. And in your family, do you have brothers and sisters? Do you?
I have 2 older sisters and an older brother, so I'm the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I, had all that privilege put on me too that I wasn't, not aware of. But if you talk to them, they have many stories of my privilege as a last born, as the baby.
Yes, I'm a middle child, and so I have that same with my younger brother. But we would be tied down, and he was juggling knives. It's just
Yeah, I mean, I was the youngest, and then the nearest sibling is 5 years older than me. So they all, they were out of high school when I started high school and out of college when I started college. So I was, there was a little bit of time in between too. So kind of baby and only child kind of syndrome a little bit.
mm-hmm. So do
Yeah.
you have a closeness with your siblings?
Yeah, I do. My 2 sisters come visit every year, come to see Danny and I either in Phoenix when we were there, and then they've been up here in Tahoe the last couple of years. And yeah, so and that's kind of changed and evolved over time, which has been really cool to see the healing of those relationships, and then coming back together and you know being friends.
In releasing those old roles, your baby
Right.
role
Just
versus.
releasing the things that each one of us kind of put into our consciousness, where the way that we thought we should be relating to one another in our differences. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess every family has that. We just had our specific issues that we dealt with, but it's kind of cool to, to move past all that and get to know one another as adults, and, share stories of our childhood. And so it's something that I didn't have for a long time in my life, but it's nice to have that again.
That's nice. Oh, that's wonderful. So you were brought up in Texas. When I met you, you were kind of in between Texas and, was it Arizona?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
And
we
now
Danny
you're in
going
Tahoe.
back and forth from Phoenix to Dallas and back.
Right, there you go. And now you're in Lake Tahoe. So
Now
tell me
oh,
about that sort of shock.
we're up in Kings Beach, which is on the north shore of the lake, and Danny always wanted to live up here, and I have the kind of job in life where I could really kind of live anywhere and just base, and I travel a lot, so I could do my music and still live anywhere. And so we had an opportunity on a great deal for a little condo up here. And we dove off and said, okay, we're going on this adventure. And we've been here about 3 years. And it takes a little adjustment in the winter, because
Yeah.
this winter was very mild, but last winter we had 55 feet of snow during the whole winter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in Canada and I've never experienced, I mean, we might, I guess, over the course of a winter get that much, but where I'm from, it's a lot different because we have the snow and then it melts and snow and then it melts. And so it doesn't stay.
It doesn't all stay, but we have probably at any given time maybe anywhere from 12 to 14 feet on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Snow, it can snow, 3 feet overnight, and then you go and dig your car out, and but they're really good with the roads up here and everything. So it's
And are
definitely.
you enjoying that part of it?
I love it. I love it. And I don't know how, if in 5 years or 2 years after we've dug out for a couple more winters, it may be, but it's the payoff is the summer up here and just being near the lake and and the pine trees. It's just beautiful. So I'm glad that he had a wish to be up here and, we were able to get up here because it's beautiful. I love living up here.
And do you still have a home in the South somewhere?
Mm-mm.
No, you just
No, no place in, this is just, we're kind of consolidated into Reno, Tahoe now.
okay,
And it's
great.
great because Reno is about 45 minutes away. And I do a residency there at the Center for Spiritual Living in Reno. And so it's a nice mix and we love the people.
Mhm. Well, that's wonderful. So we talked about your siblings. What about your folks? How do they figure into the way that your life is now? I mean, you're a very spiritual guy. I'm sure you were brought up in a spiritual or religious family.
Yes, I was brought up in a Southern Baptist church in Texas. And I had beautiful mom and dad. They're both passed now. We definitely had our issues and our difficulty in navigating and figuring out how to relate to one another. And I had more difficulty with my dad, and he passed about 20 years ago, and I didn't totally have a chance to resolve my things with him. But my mom lived until until 2016, and so I had an opportunity with her to kind of rebuild that relationship. And when you're gay and you're Southern Baptist, it's a difficult time for everybody, and it's difficult to see out of your own skin to even realize that somebody else is going through their their experience of what that means to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't always graceful or understanding, but with my mom toward the end of her life, we had a chance to kind of spend a lot of more quality time together and reestablish that relationship too. But dad was an architect and mom was a homemaker. And yeah, they really weren't your fundamentalists like hardcore Southern Baptists. But they did have that enough of that to where, they had their own difficulty. And yeah, now that they're both passed, then I kind of have that sense and feel them and that energy that, everything is okay. And it was only, when they were in their bodies, they had a difficult time, but
Right,
not
right.
anymore.
Oh, that's wonderful. So do you have a childhood hero? Is there some person in your life that
You're
sort
going to laugh
of
when I tell you, and I go back to this person, but Amy Grant was really my childhood hero
I don't know
as a
that.
little Southern Baptist kid, because she represented, as strange as it may seem, because, but for me, she represented someone who was pushing the envelope and, just kind of getting a little outside the box of where I had been brought up. So I always admired her and just her authenticity in her music. And yeah, so I guess Amy Grant was my hero.
That's perfectly great. And what about now? Do you have a hero now? Or is it the same?
Do I have a hero now? Um, I don't know if I have a hero now. Yeah.
You can say it, it's me.
I just didn't want to say that because, then I would single you out and there'd be other people that would be upset.
Okay, I appreciate that for sure. So tell me, when did you start writing music? What's the first song you wrote? How old were you?
I was 14 and I was at an encampment in Glorieta, New Mexico. And I had spent a week with the youth group. It was a Christian camp, and the youth group got together, and it was the end of the week, and we had all gotten so close, and just couldn't imagine that we were gonna have to leave at the end of the week. So I wrote a song called "Friends" that I sang at the end of the week. So that was the first song that I wrote, just to express what I felt about them.
Do you still know the song?
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah. You want to
Yeah.
hear it?
Yeah, let's hear a little bit of it.
Friends are forever, so it seems. You're the kind of friend who fulfills dreams. When I'm down and out, you're there to help me through. All I can say is I thank God for you. And when another day has come, you'll always have a place here in my heart. That's all I can remember that one.
That's pretty good for a 14-year-old first song.
Yeah, I mean, I just realized then that I could express things through music that I couldn't necessarily open my mouth to say. So it's always been that way it's been kind of a great thing to be able to go to.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's uncommon for songwriters to find a poetic, gentle way to speak what you believe is your truth.
Yeah.
It's a little more gentle to hear the truth when it's coming at you with a beautiful melody.
Oh, how beautiful that you just sang to me that I'm a jerk.
So what's your songwriting process now? Do you have a favorite sweater to wear? Like, what's your process?
I have a journal, and I don't like journal in the typical way, but just actually not just one, but I got tons of notebooks and I write down ideas. I do a lot of co-writing, and so that's one process to collaborate with people. We've done that, and
Yeah.
Jamie and Karen and a lot of other people. But I just a lot of times I'll sit down and melody music will come first, a chord structure, and then just putting the lyrics to it. Not always though, lyrics come too. There's a great book. Have you ever heard the book The War of Art?
No.
Stephen Pressfield, and he talks about the war as an artist to get up and just do it and sit down at the piano and keep staying creative. And he talks about putting on his work boots, and he'll stick his work boots on and then go and commit that time. But I think rather than any kind of ritual like that, it's just the setting the intention to show up and to take the time, even if nothing comes out, just to spend time with your craft and keep.
And is that part of your spiritual practice as well?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of different spiritual practices. I sing Hugh. I meditate. I play music. I'm kind of a sponge, and so I absorb things that resonate and feel like a path that I would like to participate in, and just keep trying to keep waking up and staying awake. And
Mm-hmm. So what's your latest release? Is that deeper Feel of Energy? Is that the latest song that you've released?
Yeah.
Where can people get that?
Say it again.
Where can people get that, I wonder?
You can get it at my website, GaryLynnFloyd.com. And I think right now all of my music there, that's the one that I'm not sure if it's a free download. I think it is, but all my CDs right now are a free download, just to kind of give back and inspire people to. So if you want any of the music, then just go and grab some of it and share it.
What a wonderful gift! Thank you for that. Do you have plans to have a new release coming up in the future anytime soon?
I'm working on a lot of music with Jamie. So Floyd Lula, we're talking about recording and getting a new CD out of our music. And then I'm working on some stuff here just during quarantine. My last CD was called My 88 Keys Volume 1. And I kind of set myself up and went, okay, well, I guess that means if people say, well, where's Volume 2? So it was just me and the piano. And so I'm thinking about during this time getting some of this new music just in that form and sharing it.
I'd love to hear that. My 88 Keys is one of my favorites of yours.
Thank you.
I love it. It's just simple and so beautiful.
Hey, our new song on my new one, if
Yes, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Gary and I just wrote kind of a little happy chant.
Can I play part of it?
Yeah, please do.
Here we go. This is Amy and my new chant goes like this. Gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. No doubt about it, won't stop till I get to the top, one step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain. Yeah, I love that one.
Such great energy in that song.
Write that with me.
I will. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful when we get right together.
Me too.
So I started singing at CSL in Calgary. It was an RSI back then, but a Center for Spiritual Living in Calgary in 1992. And my experience was amazing in a different way because it was so different than singing at a Catholic church. So tell me, like, where did you have your first experience in a New Thought center, and what was that about? What was it like?
I was playing piano bars in Dallas, and I met a guy named Michael Gott, and he was playing at the other piano bar, and he called me and said, "Hey, I'm playing at this church. Would you fill in for me?" And of course, at that time, I was like, I don't know, church. I don't know if I want to go back to church. So I told him no a few times, and then he kept asking me, and it turned out to be Center for Spiritual Living in Dallas. And so I started filling in for him when he was traveling. And then when he moved, I became part of the music team. But my first time was just that Michael had invited me to fill in for him. So I'm very grateful to him for keeping at it and asking me, because he knew that I would probably find a home there, but I just couldn't really see it at the time. So he kept asking until I gave in.
That's very similar to my story, where you keep asking and keep asking. And I have to say, I'm grateful for Michael Gott as well, then, because you touch so many people with your music and with just your open, loving spirit. And speaking of that, I read a post on your social media, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, and it was quite beautiful and really well written and eloquent, and made me really think about who I am and who I'm being in the world. And it ended with the words, "Racism ends with me." Can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, I've been very open and wanting to learn, and I found that phrase. It was a campaign that they had in Australia a couple of years ago called "Racism Ends with Me," and I think that, to me, it stopped me in my tracks, and I really resonated with it, because I think that it's an individual thing for each one of us, and as a collective, there is tons of racism and racial bias and white privilege, and I understand all of it. And I also understand that my response needs to be to watch every thought. And when I find white privilege, or when I find racial bias in my being and in my mind, it is my work to be aware of it and to choose a thought that is more loving and more in line with who I say that I am. And I realize that I will have those moments where I will experience my racial bias. And it doesn't mean that that doesn't go away. It just means that I show up and stay committed to not fostering those thoughts in my mind. And that's how it ends with me. And I think it's just an individual thing with all of us. And I think we all go about it in a little different way, but it doesn't mean that we're not going toward the same thing of creating a world where that doesn't overtake us.
Yeah. Well, we've only got a couple minutes left now. I'm going to do some rapid fire questions.
Oh God.
And
forgive me if I blurt out something that's like just really inappropriate.
All right. What's the first record you bought with your own money?
Oh God, Amy Grant, Unguarded.
Awesome. What's one thing on your bucket list?
Go to Tokyo.
Awesome. Do you have any unreasonable or strange phobias?
I'm afraid of unfinished wood.
That's awesome. What's your favorite summer activity?
Water skiing.
Okay. Cartoon character?
Bugs Bunny.
Okay. Do you eat seaweed? Yucky or yummy?
Yucky.
Yeah. What's the one thing that annoys you the most?
Intolerance.
Okay. What's one of your weird quirks?
I uh, what's one of my weird quirks? I'm I I I put honey in my coffee.
What? When I dance, I look like.
um I look like a fool.
What's your favorite Halloween costume?
um Superman.
Awesome. Do you know how wonderful and beautiful you are?
Thank you, Amy.
I love you so much. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me today.
I love you.
Love you too. Everybody, this has been Gary Lynn Floyd, and I look forward to doing one of these again. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.